Hey everyone, it's Heather, Quantum Healing Hypnosis practitioner. How are you guys doing? I have an amazing session to share with you. I'm so excited to share this content. I'm going to be transcribing this session because my client asked me to keep her session private, which is no problem at all, but that I was more than welcome to share the information with you because it's really good. So I'm going to be transcribing and reading this session. And it's a really long one. There's a lot of information that I'm going to be sharing. So I'm going to be breaking this down into multiple parts. So be sure that you are listening to all the parts because there's really some great content that comes through. So I want to tell you a little bit about this session before I jump into the transcription. This is a client that I have worked with multiple times. All of her sessions have been absolutely incredible. And for whatever reason, when we do these sessions together, she brings beings from all over the galaxy. It's pretty amazing to see who all shows up for these sessions. And so the session was just as exciting. We had 5 different groups that showed up during the session. We had the Angelics, we had the Syrians, we had the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, and the Arcturians. And each group brought through a different message. And it is so fascinating when you're doing a session like this. Well, first of all, I'll tell you how the information comes through her voice when she changes groups. Now, I know you're not going to be able to hear that, but I can tell you it is so fascinating. You know, if you think about it, the client in hypnosis is receiving a frequency from these different groups, and they're all different frequencies. You know, they're not all sort of on the same level. And so she has to adjust when she's receiving that information, that frequency, and she's translating it into words and bringing it forward. So throughout the session, her voice was changing from group to group. And it's just so interesting to see how that happens. When we're talking with the angelics, there is a very beautiful softness to the voice. I mean, it's what you would picture talking with an angelic would sound like, very soft. When we were talking with the Andromedans, they are so funny. It's a funny group that comes through in her sessions. We spoke with them in another session of hers as well. And her voice changes. It's very sort of high pitched. And it's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just very different. And as a matter of fact, when I read that part to you, which I'm going to do in another segment, they even called me out because they said they could read my thoughts and I thought they sounded funny. And they did. The Pleiadians, when they came through, oh my goodness, they are so powerful. And even she said she feels like she has to hold herself back because the message wants to boom out of her voice. So it's just interesting when you're connecting with these different groups that you can actually feel and hear a difference in the way that information came through. And I also want to share something else that I think was really interesting. So, as I mentioned, we've done a few of these sessions now where we've had a group of, or different groups come in. And she told me after we wrapped up this session that, well, she told me later because we've talked since we've done this session. She said that normally when she comes out of these sessions that it takes her about a day to get her thoughts back in order. She said there's almost like a blankness in her mind, and she has trouble thinking, you know, and just doing simple things. And in this session, before we went into the session, she asked them, she said, can you please help me with this? Because I can't go a full day without being able to think. I've got things I need to do tonight. So is there any way that you can help me to recover faster? Now, again, when we're connecting to all of these different beings, and you can imagine that it's different frequencies, and her brain and her pineal gland and her, those different elements that translate this information, they have to work really hard, especially when we're connecting group to group and we're shifting through those frequencies. And so I can imagine that that's very taxing on the mind and almost can just sort of shut you down until you get back to normal. But in this session, she said it was very different. She said it was almost as if instead of she was receiving the messages, it was almost like they came in and moved her aside and just dropped into her body and sort of took over. Not took over, they're not taking over the body, but they're taking over more, I guess, of her faculties than normal. And when we talked about it after, I said it sounds to me like trance, what they call trance channeling. And if you're familiar with trance channeling, and I'm not a channeler, so I may be getting this a little bit wrong, so I apologize. But trance channeling to me is where the consciousness of the person, the vessel, sort of moves aside and allows the being, the group, the collective that they're connecting with to almost integrate a little bit more with their body. So they're still there, but they're sort of off to the side, just maybe observing or whatever they're doing, and the beings sort of drop in and take over. So when I described that to her, she said that's exactly what it felt like. And I'll give you a little bit why I'm telling you that too, because there's going to be a message that I'm going to share from the Arcturians. And this message was a little surprising to both of us, and we were both almost like, oh my gosh, do we share that? Do we put that out there? It's going to leave some people scratching their heads, and it's going to leave some people going, I'm not sure if I believe that. But as this message was coming in, as we connected with the Arcturians, she was given a vision. And I'm going to leave you waiting for this because it's really interesting. But she was given a vision, and she was thinking in her conscious mind that's still there, nope, I'm not bringing that through. I'm not going to say that, because she was worried about what people might think and if it would go against their belief systems. But the Arcturians were very persistent, and she said she could feel them almost coming in and very lovingly and gently saying, move aside, please. We have a message that we would like to share, and you're not going to keep us from bringing it through because you're worried about what other people might think. Let us share it. So I will tell you more about that when we get to that message, but I just wanted to share that because I found it so fascinating that even in these sessions, there's multiple ways that we can bring through this information, and this was definitely a different experience for her. So I'm going to start off sharing this very first section. We're connecting with the Angelics, and then the Syrians are going to slide in there. And I noticed them slide in there when they started talking about their planet, because we were speaking with the Angelics, and the Angelics are, as they will share, they walk beside us. Of course, they're in many dimensions and many places. But when they started talking about their planets, I knew we weren't talking to the Angelics anymore, because I don't think the Angelics have just a planet where they reside. So you'll hear that switch, and you'll notice that eventually I ask if we've connected with a different group. So I hope you enjoy this beautiful information. Be sure to check out the following segments because they're all really good, all very different. There were many different messages that came through this session, but each one was very interesting and very unique. So I will be reading both parts. I'll be reading my part, and I will be reading my client's part. You should be able to follow along with it. I hope you enjoy this session segment. As you pass your awareness down the body, let me know if you find anything. She's pretty clear, There was a little bit in the gut that shouldn't be there. And so, as we focus on the gut, tell me what's there. What do you see? It's like debris. It's particles. It's from Earth. It's from here. They're polluting you. They're trying to make you sick here. It's a collection, and her body is doing a really good job of keeping her safe, and it's flushing it. But they are dumping on you every day. They're trying really hard right now. Tell me a little bit more about what is being dumped on us every day. They're trying. It's the chemicals. They have lots of chemicals. They have technology. They have frequency that they dump on you through your air, through your food, in water, and they have amped it up. They know they are losing, and they're trying hard to make you sick. If you're sick, you can't shine your light as bright. So if they can make many, many of you sick at the same time, the frequency can lower. And maybe, just maybe, they can get ahead. That's their plan. Not a very good one, but it's their plan. So all of these things that are in our environment, how do we protect ourselves? How can we prevent ourselves from getting sick? It's your thoughts. It's your feelings. It's your emotions. Your physical body will follow your emotions. So even though there's physical particles that are toxic to the human body, the emotional body is much stronger. It can eradicate it completely, like a particle disappearing. It can literally make it disappear into nothingness if the right frequency hits it. You know how glass shatters at the exact frequency of glass? You can do the same. Your frequency can be so strong that it can shatter what they're trying to pollute you with. So, above all, humans, you have to know how to keep your vibration high. Even if you don't feel good, think of the positive. Focus on what makes you happy. Focus on the love. And before you know it, it will be cleansed from your system. Don't think of it as a physical problem. It can be if you focus on it. It can make your body sick. But it doesn't have to. It's so simple. You are so much stronger than these particles. They are a joke. You need to see it from your higher perspective. Just laugh when they try to make you sick. You feel nauseous and you're going to the bathroom, and then you say, "Oh, I'm going to be sick. What's wrong with me?" No. You have to stop your thoughts and change your frequency, and you will shatter the particles, and they will be released easily from your body. Very good. So let's focus back on her gut and the debris that's there. Is this debris coming from the environment, or is it coming from somewhere else? What can you tell me? She has so graciously cleared some of her family. She was with them over Thanksgiving, and they needed some help, and she agreed to clear them. They carry a lot, and they have a hard time clearing it. It's not their time to be sick. They have a lot of work to do here. So her physical body was clear. She could take it. It's not a big deal. So she's processing it for them. And they were sent on their way to continue their job. She knows her job is to help heal. So sometimes it's in this way. It's okay. She will process it just fine. It's just circling in her gut. swirling, and it's almost ready to be released. Her energy is transmuting it for them. Very good. And so is there any assistance that we can give her with transmuting that energy today? Yes. We can just scoop it out. She did all the work already. It is just time. We will just take it now. Thank you for that. And as you are removing that energy, can we fill it up with some beautiful frequencies of love and light and place that in that stomach and in that gut? Yes, we will always replace it with light, always. We will not ever leave our children void of your divine power. You are like a Care Bear, you know. You know the Care Bears. You have that energy in your tummy too. When you get together, you can heal a lot of people with your Care Bear energy. You remember, they say Care Bear stare, and the energy flows out of them from their tummy. And everybody gets their own power. You all get to be a different Care Bear here, you know. That's so fun. And all of your powers together are so different, but they're all needed for different things. And when you put them together, you can create miracles. You can heal. You can change the planet. Tell us a little bit more about how we can begin to activate more of those Care Bear powers. I know many people are wanting to bring forward their gifts and abilities at this time. What's the best way to activate and bring them forward? We are so confused that you don't know. You just do it like a Care Bear. Care Bear stare, you say, and it happens. We don't understand why you don't see that. Humans are funny because they don't activate until something comes along and triggers the power within them. We see you. You are amazing in crisis, which is so funny that you just don't use that every day. We see you, for instance, after a hurricane. You're like little ants down there. You rise up. If someone needs help, you rise up. And you all put on your capes, and you join together, and you rebuild, and you rebuild, and you rebuild. And you help each other. And you collect all of the animals that are homeless, and you collect all of the people, and you give them food, and you give them shelter. And these powers are activated together, and you're so strong. And there's love pouring out of every single one of you. That's the power within you. You have to reach down and feel it. If there's someone next to you on the street, if you're out for a jog and someone falls, what do? You run to them immediately and you help them, and you go to any extent that you need to help them. You bring them to the hospital, you bring them a Band-Aid, you call someone for them. It's within you. It's innate. It is always within you. And so you need to utilize this every single day. You don't have to wait for a crisis. Superheroes can be there every day, in every circumstance. It is something that you don't have to think about. It is something that's built in. You would never let somebody fall over on the sidewalk and run past them. You don't even know them, but you will save them no matter what, because you are beautifully made to do so. So every day, you can do these things. You can be there for others. And like they said, when you do things for others, it strengthens you. It heals you. You don't understand. The power comes back to you. So helping others and giving to others is how you strengthen and heal yourself. And together it spreads, and it spreads, and it spreads. And together you're stronger, you're happier, and you're healthier. And you can start that in your own community with little acts. It doesn't have to be so big. So stop waiting around for the crisis to occur. It's here now, don't you see? It's all around you. There are people struggling in their homes. They don't talk about it. They don't want you to know. You need to reach out to them and be that superhero for everybody, and for yourself, and for them. Beautiful. And may I ask who we're speaking with today? We did step in. We are the Angelics. We are here. We understand people a little more closely. We work with you every day. We are in your mind. We are next to you. We hear your decisions. We are always with you. We are the tap on your shoulder. Every human has one of us. We are assigned to you. We are always here for you, whether you like us to hear your thoughts or not. We do hear them, and we know exactly the thought process you go through. Should I help them? The judgments, the non-judgments, the love, the not-so-loving thoughts. We hear all of them, and we are trying to help you make the right decision every single time, every single glance, every single thought. We are right beside you, holding your hand, and we hope that you hear us. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. But we are so proud of you when you reach out for others. We are so proud of you when you activate that power within you. We clap, and we hug you, and we give you that joyful feeling of love back in return. That love is given from us, from Source, so that you know that you are on the right track and you're doing an amazing job. So we are here, and we are close to the humans. We are close to you in physical and in spirit. And so the Andromedans were trying to connect with you, but they do not walk beside you. They are observers, we would say. They love you so much. They are so close to your planet. But we have stepped in at this time to help out with the human struggle questions, because we hear you. We do. Beautiful. When we see those angel numbers, and a person starts to see those coming into their reality on a repeat basis, what are you trying to communicate with us? What is the message that you want us to get? That is a gift, of course. It is a reminder to open your eyes, to be aware, to connect with us, with the spirit side. It's a little bit different for everybody. And you know, we don't necessarily trigger those numbers. They are triggered by you. They are triggered by your thoughts, by your feelings, and by the path that you're on. And when there is an alignment of energy, there is almost a spark, so to speak, in the time-space continuum, and the numbers line up, and your attention is drawn to those numbers at that exact time. Time and space and energy all comes together at once, and it's a spark of aha. I see that number. Oh, interesting. What does that mean? But it is a gift to reconnect you to Source, to the other side, to the bigger picture, to what you're thinking and what you're doing at that time. It is a gift of spark to remind you that this journey is, yes, physical, but it is definitely not physical as well. It is very much spiritual. It is a reminder for your soul, and your soul receives the gift, and it is rewarded with that energy. Beautiful. So when we see those numbers, we can know that we're on the right track, that everything is in alignment. Is that correct? I am getting the picture that some of you will see them in your darkest hour, and you will say, that can't be right. We can't be on track. It is a reminder, you see. In your darkest hour, you feel horrible. Things have gone wrong around you. You have lost loved ones. You see the angel numbers. We have to remind you that this is a spiritual journey in a physical body. It's not a physical body having a spiritual journey. When you see those numbers, we hope and pray that you feel the love and that you feel taken care of and that you feel, oh yes, this physical journey is short. It will be done before I know it. Just enjoy the rest of the journey, and then you can go home too. Don't get so down. So you will see the numbers in good times, when you are on top of the world and everything is going right, and you will see that spark of energy come together, and you will see it in that moment and go, yes, I am on the right path. I feel amazing. And you will also see it to know that there is hope, to know that you are not alone, to know that we are all connected. We all share these numbers with you, and you get to receive them in the right exact moment. So whatever that exact moment is that you needed to see that, to either keep you going on the high that you're on, or help to remind you and bring you up, that is when we will share those numbers with you. So just smile and know that we are with you, and know that this journey, no matter how hard it may seem, is very short. Very, very, very short. And you just need to enjoy the ride. Beautiful. Very good. What can you tell us from your perspective about how things are going on Earth at this time? What can you share with us? There are lots of perspectives here. We want to know whose perspective you would like. So other than the Andromedans, who else do we have here with us today? Let's see. We have more people here. We have, of course, the Pleiadians. They are always here when you're doing your sessions. We have the Syrians. They are waiting graciously. We even have the Arcturians that have been called in this morning as light bringers. They are protecting your journey. They are protecting this information. And of course, us, the Angelics. Beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to choose, because I want to hear from all of you. Who would like to go first and give us a little update on where we are or what we need to know at this time? We would like to give you many perspectives too, because what one person needs to hear will not be what another person needs to hear. You are all different Care Bears. So we will start. We are the angelic group. Of course, you hear from us a lot. We are starting because you will understand this the most. Because like we said, we get to hear you. We truly hear you every second of every day. We would like to say, please be patient with humanity at this time. There is a lot of darkness that is being cleared, And as it's cleared, it hits people's families. It hits them in different ways. There's a lot of sickness. There's a lot of depression. And like we said, it is heavier than it's ever been. You know the expression, it's always darkest before the dawn. And that is where we are. We are before the dawn, and it feels a little heavy. And we see all of you looking around and going, what's next? Why haven't we moved forward? Why are we still in the trenches? But it's clearing. It's exactly how it should be. It's not a mistake. You need to know that you look at it wrong. We always tell you this, but we hear your thoughts, so we understand. You see what's happening to people, and you're worried for your planet, for the future. How can we move forward with all of this sickness? How can we move forward with all of this darkness and everything that they are trying to throw at humanity? How is this even going to be possible? You look at it from a physical body standpoint. Please remember, your physical body is just temporary, and we promise you, you will not leave this planet until it's your time. So it's not luck. It's not, you got lucky and I didn't. I am sick and you are not. This bad thing happened to me and it didn't happen to you. That is not how this works. You need to remember the soul chose the journey, and it is playing out perfectly for the bigger picture, for the end result of what we want to accomplish. It is not sad. It is what we all want in the end, and we are allowing that to occur. So please be patient with what you see around you. Do not get upset. Do not get angry. Do not point your fingers, please. It's not anybody's fault. It is exactly how it should be. It is cleaning and it is clearing so that the earth and your beautiful souls can move on to higher places and higher vibrations. So you don't have to be in this low vibration ever again. You are finishing the job. You are so tired. We see. But please keep going. One foot in front of the other. You will be so proud of yourself when you're done. We promise. We already see it. It's already happened. You are just going through the energy of the finishing. Thank you. So as we're working to clear the darkness, where does it go? Will we continue to fight the darkness in other places or on other planets? Will there ever be a time when this type of darkness no longer exists? It is created. Darkness is not just a thing that can be or not be. So we are working to clear as much of that lower energy and frequency as possible, so you can all experience the beautiful gift that Source wants you to have. But it just takes one soul's bad decision to create more darkness. Do you see that? It is created from within. And when a soul creates it through their energy, their thoughts, their decisions, then it can grow and it can infiltrate others. And it takes a bright light to dissipate that dark energy. It is only eradicated completely when all energy and souls return to Source completely. We will all do that one day. It will be the great return before He creates again. But as we play out our different journeys on different galaxies, darkness can always be created. It's not a thing that is or isn't. It is created and can always be created. but can always also be eradicated. It is part of the experience for us all. Even us higher light beings, as you call us, experience some darkness. But it is eradicated much faster here. It is felt among us immediately, and we can help that soul return to source. They aren't allowed on our planet or on our solar system if they are creating darkness. It is not allowed. It's different. It's not thought of as bad. It's a learning for that soul. And if you are creating darkness, you are not ready to be on our planet because we are of a higher frequency. Your planet allows them all. You will take any soul that needs to learn, no matter how dark of energy they produce. You say, we will take them. They can learn here. We are not so gracious with them. We say, you are not allowed here, and we are sorry. When you are ready to advance, you may come back. But for now, you have to go to a different planet to learn. Does that make sense? Yes, and may I ask if we're speaking with a different group now? Yes, we are the Syrians. We are full of light. We are a planet of light. We cannot tolerate any sliver of darkness here. Can you tell me a little bit more about why Earth is the place where all of the souls come to learn, and why we take on those darker souls? Was this an original agreement to do that? Or did it just end up this way? What can you share? Earth was created for this job. It was. Earth is the most gracious planet. We are not that gracious. It knew the job it would be given and agreed to do so. She is a beautiful soul. She is like Mother Teresa. She is the Mother Teresa of the planets. Her job is to protect and to heal and to rehab. She is a great rehabber because her energy is so pure. She is much like a foster home. She's like a group home for children who need her, and they can advance while they are with her, and they can rise up and become amazing, beautiful souls while they are in her presence. And in the group home, the souls learn from one another because there are so many different aspects. There are so many different energies among you. There's the high souls that are just there to help, that have very high energy. There are the darkest of the dark souls too, that want only good for themselves and literally cannot see outside themselves and everything in between. And through being in the group home together, you get to decide where you fall. Do you want to be like the darkest soul? Or do you want to be like Mother Teresa? How do you see yourself? Who do you want to be? It's like a field trip for kids. You get to go and experience all the different ways to be and the different vibrations to be in. And you get to choose who you want to be when you grow up. So you are learning on Earth. You get to pick out your profession. Do I want to be someone who heals people? Okay, I will pick that profession and resonate with that energy. Do I want to be on Earth to feel bad for myself and to only think about myself? Then Earth will let you do that, because then you can go through that until you are done. And then you can say, okay, I've done that. I've been there. I no longer enjoy that. I'm going to change my journey. And you can turn around your life and start helping other people. So Earth is amazing. It's a field trip for souls. They get to become anything they want to become. Other planets are not like that. So if you are choosing to experience yourself in all levels of frequency, the darkest of the dark, the highest of the highs, you will most likely journey to Earth because she so graciously allows for all behaviors. Very good. Thank you so much for that. So is there anything else that the Syrians would like to share with us today? Any messages or anything that you would like to bring forward? We are watching and sending our light. We have done a good job. There is a cracking starting in the earth from our energy. We focus our energy into the earth. This is a good thing. It's like an egg hatching. It's starting to get ready. And it's shaking, and there's disruption in your bioelectric field. We are sending in the beams of light to hatch your planet, and it will be a beautiful opening. The light will pour in. They have tried to keep the light out and keep you covered. We are opening the channels, and you will feel that light pour upon you and your planet magnificently. It will be glorious. We can see the cracking now. We are so excited for this and for your planet. Beautiful. And so as this planet ascends and we raise in frequency, does that have any effect on where you are? Is there any connection between us? We get to feel all of the frequencies from all of the galaxies. It's a vibrational energy. It's like a singing bowl. You know, you ring your singing bowls and they continue to vibrate throughout the whole room. That is what we all get to feel all the time. Your planet affects us all. Your planet is ringing out a dense energy. It wants to release it. We all feel the ripples of that sound. That is why we are all here in conjunction to help, to release this frequency from your planet, for Earth and for the souls there. For us, we do it as a collective. That energy is harsh and it has had effects for eons. It needs to be released. It is time. So this last little part that I'm going to share with you is about my sweet bunny Willow. If you've been following along with me for a while, you've probably heard the story about my sweet bunny and her struggles here on Earth, and learning that she is a being from Sirius that came here to try and do work on this planet, but it was just a little too much for her. Now, if you want to learn more about Willow, you can look back through my videos and you'll see one that has a beautiful bunny on the cover or on the little thumbnail, and you can listen to that one and you'll learn more about Willow. But she was a Syrian bunny, so they brought in a little information, and I wanted to share it because it's interesting what they say about the animal souls. I've been learning a lot about how amazing some of our animals are, and we think that they're just animals, but many of them are also beings from other places and other planets, and they are working right alongside of us as we're moving through this shift. So I thought this was interesting, and I just wanted to share this last little piece with you. So I say, very good, thank you for that. Is there anything else you would like to share with us today before I move on to the next group? Willow says, hello, Mother, and that she is taking care of Aspen. They are continuing to work together. Aspen is doing phenomenal. Good job, Aspen. We are sending our greetings to all of our beings that we have there. Most we put in animal forms. Isn't that funny? We like them in animal form, because then the thoughts and worries of your human minds do not interfere with our energy transfers. It's much easier to transfer energy into these beautiful animal souls. They are not cluttered. They receive it and they can keep it on your planet for us. So we send our thanks and hello to all of our beautiful babies that we have there. We are watching you, and you are all doing amazing. Beautiful. Please give her our love. We miss her every day, so we are glad that she's doing better now. Thank you for those messages. She says she is phenomenal now. She feels amazing, and she is 100% back to who she is, full and whole again. My heart couldn't be happier to hear that. Please give her my love. Thank you so much for all of those beautiful messages. So that's everything for this part. I hope you enjoyed the messages. We had the Syrians and the Angelics that spoke in this message. I will be sharing messages from the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, and the Arcturians, so make sure you check those out. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video.